If anyone's watching here, come and talk to us because we're crazy about Bitcoin and about the Breez. And it's been a solution and it's been a savior for us. So we said, okay, Breez is actually a perfect fit because any business, any app there in the world, these apps can just overnight, they can get into the heads of the businesses. And this is a very powerful thing because I believe this is the way to go, and this is revolutionary. It's not about go download Strike. What about I go as ordermoon? They already have the app and I put the button there. It's just another button. It's not another app. And that's a great thing to have.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Shoot the Breez, Building in Bitcoin, the series where we talk to the builders shaping the future of money. Today's guest is Atanas, the CTO and co-founder of Ordermoon, and we're talking about why they chose Bitcoin, what they've been building with Breez, and what the future of money looks like from their side of the screen. Atanas, lovely to meet you. For folks that are unaware, could you tell us the story of Ordermoon?
Yeah. Thank you, Danny. It's something we've been doing for like 15, 60 years because we've been dealing with restaurants. So this is in our DNA. We started back in 2007. We are originally based in Bulgaria. During COVID, we kicked off with our delivery platform. Apart from the platform, we've been doing online bookings. And basically, we were trying to solve as many issues or try to help all these restaurants. We've established really good, connections and really good partners, like probably 500 restaurants or more. Then me and my partner, who is actually British, called Lance Nelson, he got me into this rabbit hole back in 2016, 2015. If you remember that time, it was on chain, and we started playing around. My first interaction with Bitcoin was actually paying with Bitcoin. So I was not these people that were, okay, let's buy some. Maybe I'm going to win. Maybe I'm going to buy a red Ferrari or whatever. I was buying Bitcoin to buy sushi, and I was getting that for 10% off. So the first use case in my experience was medium of exchange. And we orange pilled a guy back in 2016 to start accepting Bitcoin in his restaurant. It didn't work. It was too early, to be honest. It was too early. And then we didn't do anything. And now back in 2024, we started thinking like, okay, we've got this network. Maybe that's the time to do something on the Bitcoin. And this is how All the Moon was born. Of course, it was not just us sitting down and just clicking somewhere and then okay, we have to start doing the Bitcoin. It was the community that almost at the same time they got in touch with us, and they say, guys, we've seen you've been playing around with Bitcoin on your website. You say you accept Bitcoin. Why don't we meet? Why don't we just update ourselves and sync and let's see what happens? There were so many people talking about Bitcoin. There were meetups. There was a conference as well, and it was a no-brainer just to figure it out. And already a year or more, we are now doing things actively and offering services to these businesses. And I think it's going very well.
What were the challenges in 2016, 17 that have now gone? Like what's changed?
Yeah, back at that time, there were not many people talking about Bitcoin at all. So I remember Sofia, which is the capital of Bulgaria. So around between 1.5 million to 2 million people live in the city. And back at that time, there was one single bar where you can actually go and spend sats. Secondly, I think back at that time the fees were really low, but there were peak moments. By the way, it was just the time when we had crazy fees. So if you were about to transfer even one Bitcoin for $700-800, then you would be charged like $20. So when we were talking to even friends of ours saying, this is a great currency, there is almost zero fee, and suddenly this pitch was not valid anymore. It was quite, a disappointment back at that time. And also, of course, there were not many places to pay. It was just one. And not only that, there was some guy working on, there was an ATM located in the bar. So you can actually go and put some dirty fiat money, get some sats, and actually pay the bill. And it was so easy and smooth. So you can immediately figure it out. Yeah, I go to that machine, I buy the Bitcoin, and then I pay the bill. And of course, she was giving away 10% discount, which was what was actually a pretty good incentive because it was happening within a very small amount of time. Like probably you were eating sushi for 1 hour, so the price couldn't go down that much at all. It didn't matter at all. So it was a no-brainer not paying with Bitcoin back in 2016.
But what's that
Yeah.
change that made you guys go, no, this isn't just something we're passionate about. This is actually something that will help our business grow.
We do that business, and when you do that business, you try to differentiate yourself from your competitors. You imagine, like in 2016, you were accepting Bitcoin as a medium of exchange, means of payment. We somehow realized, yeah, that's a great thing to distinguish ourselves from competitors. Yeah, that's A. And of course, our love for Bitcoin. I mean, we would be proudly working on that initiative and say, okay, we want to develop that thing. It's got legs. We very believe in that thing at 100%. And then say, not last is we were pushed by the community. It was all collided together and say, okay, I mean, it's all saying like, yes, you need to jump in and do your stuff.
2 million people, 1 million people still in a city is a big city, is a big area. How have you found the community growing then? Because you said they were a decision, not a decision, but kind of a push to get you to where you are. Like, so how's that community grown?
You've heard the guy who orange built a football club, as you are, a football fan at all. A black and yellow team. It happened that I'm a fan of this club as well all my life because I'm not originally from Sofia, but from Plovdiv, second largest city. So I was a big fan of that team. And suddenly you've got the guy who is behind the Bitcoin policy. And he calls me and says, okay, I'm George. I'm the Bitcoin director. Can we meet up? Because we see what you're doing. And I think there will be some, synergy. We can talk about Bitcoin. Can you say no to that, Danny? It's like a no-brainer. So I said, okay, if the club is adopting it, which was a bright example, even if I go to the restaurants and talk to the businesses I work on daily basis, I can refer and say, you don't tell me that Bitcoin is illegal. There is a club adopting it, and this club is playing in the first league. I mean, am I talking like nonsense? You just open and they have Bitcoin on the shirt. It's a great proof and it's a lot easier, but it actually had a massive contribution to the adoption.
Uh, how would you describe the phases of ordermoon and to where you are today for someone who might be unfamiliar?
So when the order comes in, they go at the terminal, they print the receipt, they have the order there, and basically this is like their dashboard for the things like online bookings and online orders. And then we say, okay, it's time now to put the Bitcoin button there. So you are getting the orders, you're getting the reservations. You can manage nowadays, you can manage your table seating in the restaurant as well. And you have the Bitcoin button, and that went live to 200 venues at least. And they had this Bitcoin button. Of course, it was not activated, it was not live because we had to do some communication before turning that button on. But in some form, it did the marketing, like did PR. So they were a bit curious what's the Bitcoin doing here. And it was very easy to turn this thing on. And when they were ready, and we say, okay, this is how Bitcoin works. You can click that button, you can generate an invoice, and you can get paid. And because that was possible back in 2024, we were able to exchange that. I'm sure like still people in the European Union do that, but we had the crazy shit coming from Brussels, as we all know, which are trying to put us into a business which needs a license. You're getting paid like 100 euros and you need a license. That license alone will be thousands of euros, just to let you know. So it's basically trying to phase you out. And that's why we were thinking that should keep going. And this is where Ivan from Breeze. So he said, you know what, guys? I think it's a perfect fit. Yeah, you have your ordermoon and you have your app already pushed to all other restaurants and everywhere. All we need to do is to put that wallet into these apps because already the restaurants they already had the app. It's just a single update. So that became the ordermoon as already that Bitcoin layer was added in the app.
So if I'm right then, so basically initially you had a simple custodial model, but due to regulation, which obviously gets more restrictive over time, you have to move to a self-custodial setup, right, or a non-custodial setup. And so what I assume that's the decision then. That's what brought you to kind of Breeze. And what was, and as CTO, what was your experience like integrating with the SDK? Like, how did that go?
I have amazing team that and it's not a big team, but I've got one great Android guy and one great iOS guy as well. So gave them the docs, the documentation you've got there. They figure it out pretty quickly. So in that respect, I would say it's straightforward. And they said they had zero problems.
Why why Breeze over other options out there?
The other big reason was your colleague Ivan. I think he did an article about how a payment may go in the restaurant and instantly you can pay to everyone else. So the delivery driver gets his share because he just delivered the food. And all these transactions can have happen in a matter of milliseconds, let's say a second, and that's mind blowing. So on our journey with Breez SDK, we even had a business where they said, you know what, we are two partners. Can you guys split the payments in half? So the moment someone pays, half of the money goes into one pocket and half of the other amount goes into another pocket. And that's so cool as well. And these people love it. Like you can see the light in their eyes when they say, "Is that even possible?" Because you've been, dealing with all the banks, you've been dealing with all the payments, and more we dig into Breeze SDK, we were loving it. But also understanding the business is the problem when you go and talk with the restaurant. Let's forget for a moment I have a business with restaurant, and I'm just a Bitcoiner and I want to go and I have my favorite restaurants and I want to orange peel them. It's a very difficult job. I mean, it's close to impossible because that business never had any relations with me, any business relations. And who am I just to go and tell him, you need to tell your accountant to do things differently? So that's one thing. The other thing is you need to go to the restaurant, and even if that restaurant says, "Okay, guys, I'm up for it. I'll talk to my accountant. I need the wallet." What do? You go and say, "Okay, download the wallet of Satoshi, or download Aqua, or I don't know, whatever you get, the Strike, whatever." It's a single app that does one thing, and it's just one more hassle for the business. And that's the big challenge. That's a big bottleneck. And this is what we realized. There's so many apps there, and they're all doing wallets and everything else. But it's just another tool. It's another platform. You need to learn and you need to use. So we said, okay, that Breeze is actually a perfect fit because any business, any app there in the world that has some traction among specific industries, these apps can just overnight, when they get to install the Lightning wallet, they can get into the heads of the businesses. And this is a very powerful thing. So congrats on what you've done in this thing, because I believe this is the way to go, and this is revolutionary. It's not about go download wallet of Satoshi, go download Strike. You need to learn to do these things. But what about I go as ordermoon? They already have the app. It's already there, and I put the button there, and they're fine. It's just another button. It's not another app, and that's a great thing to have.
I think you literally just did our whole ethos at Breeze, which is that Bitcoin in every app is. We don't need more Lightning apps. We need more apps with Lightning. We kind of have like two more areas to kind of discuss, and one of those is the impact of bringing Bitcoin to where people are.
So we had quite a big challenge. How can we make people use their sats to pay for things? One of these successes was actually getting grant, a small grant from Bitcoin Beach. And this is where the idea came about the Sats back. If we had some additional grant and the grants of, let's say, El Salvadorian Sats go directly to the wallets of the people who actually spend Sats. So just to make sure they're spending the Sats for sushi, for Indian, for whatever. And more, it's even more important to get the Sats directly to the wallets of the owners. Owners are the most important. They're the decision makers. And it's up for the business owners to say, I do accept Bitcoin. So that way we were able to secure this El Salvadorian Sats to go into the hands of the owners. So as of today, there are 21, funny enough, 21 restaurants in Sofia that you can pay with Bitcoin. So there's one whiskey bar, the best one coffee shop with the specialty coffee, and 90 restaurants with different cuisines. So if you happen to be in Sofia, let's say you take the plane, you can stay like the whole week, because today you may have the Indian, tomorrow you have the Russian, the other day you may have the Bulgarian traditional, or you can go have the sushi or Italian or Greek, because it's all a collision of different very nice cuisines. So it's not about let's get to as many places as possible to collect sats, but about let's make it a bit more, colorful for in terms of an options you have when you land in Sofia. No chains. So it's really we're trying to do that, promote the local players with interesting food cuisine, and having the ordermoon as a tool, as an app, combined with the El Salvadorian Sats. This is where the magic happens. And the owners, we say, whatever you get paid in Bitcoin, so let's say you paid $100 bill, you get $10 on top of this in Bitcoin. Can you say no to that? The owner is the guy. If he sees there is an opportunity to get some sats, they're making sure the flyers is sticked on the door because he has a great incentives to accept Bitcoin. So you walk into that place, you see the Bitcoin sticker, you go into the toilet of that restaurant, you climb up the stairs, and just before opening the door, you see the Bitcoin sign. And this is what's happening in these venues. So you start connecting all these things and say, yeah, you have a great app. We've done the great connections elsewhere. We've been on Geyser as well. Geyser is an amazing platform. And we're trying to connect all these dots. And that way, we are trying to really to understand the psychology of the people spending sats. So we've been playing different offers, let's say, just to understand whether people will say, okay, let's try this, because I know they have the sats. I know that they're just stacking the sats. How can I get these people spending the sats? And we've tried many different ways. Some of them we saw it they work, some of them they don't work. Same for the owners. So we have pretty good insights.
There you go. Okay, and then the final thing then I'd have to sign off on is there anything else you have to share with us about anything that's off the top of your mind that you wanted to share?
Yeah, we're trying hard. By the way, if anyone's watching, do subscribe on YouTube. We've got the Order Moon channel. All you need to do is just type in Order Moon. We're there, and we constantly publish stuff like videos, interviews. We do podcasts as well. And even 2 weeks ago, I went to Greece, to Thessaloniki. This is the second largest city in Greece, where I orange peeled the first restaurant in the second largest city in Greece. So you can now go in Greece in that city and pay with Bitcoin. So I'm trying to go abroad as well. So we've seen what's working here, and we've been traveling to Serbia, to North Macedonia, to Greece, all the neighbors around. I hope we're going to see, by the way, for anyone's watching, there is a big conference coming here in October, BTC Balkans. So anyone wants to come in the Balkans, experience the Sofia Bitcoin hype here with all the places where you can spend sats. And of course, we are fundraising. So that's right now we're trying really to explain what we do. We do a lot of things, and I understand this is a challenge to whoever listens us for 10 minutes. They may not get it, but Bulgaria is now a hotspot. If you open Europe, you see Lugano, Okay, you see Netherlands, there is Arnhem. What else? You see now UK coming up on the map as well, slightly. You see Czech Republic and you see Bulgaria. So it's like coming up on the map because of the efforts, of our efforts in the community. So if anyone's watching here, please like all the channels there and come and talk to us because we are crazy about Bitcoin and about the Breeze. About the Breez SDK, I'm happy to share what we've done with Breez, and it's been a solution and it's been a savior for us.
I mean, if there's any way I could end this, Atanas, it's going to be on that very note. So I want to say thank you very much for all of your time talking to us about everything you guys are doing. And honestly, I genuinely mean this sincerely. It's absolutely epic to see what's happening in Bulgaria. So that is it for this edition of Shoot the Breeze. You've been the man. And like you just said, like and subscribe to everything on all the Moon's channels because you guys are epic. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, Danny, very much indeed. Yes, yes. All the best.